What's up, everybody? Johnnie Omega here, giving you my review of Halloween. Not the 1978 one, but the one that just came out. Not quite sure why they have the same title, but alright. This Halloween takes place 40 years after the original and completely neglects every other sequel. You got Jamie Lee Curtis back in this one. She's 40 years older now than she was in the original, and you can tell that she's still not quite over all that stuff that happened to her back in high school. And I actually thought that was a great aspect, because the same way you'd have a soldier coming back from war who possibly is suffering from PTSD, if you survive the attempts of a serial killer, especially at that age, that could really mess you up psychologically, and I like the way that this movie explored that. It was kind of iffy bringing her back, I think, also because if she doesn't work, the movie doesn't work. But luckily, she worked, so the movie worked. The way she's actually played in this movie is great. I mean, she's paranoid, she lives out in the woods by herself, she just has this irrational fear that Michael Myers, after all these years, is still gonna come back. And this fear messed up her relationship with her daughter, which in turn makes her relationship with her granddaughter flawed, and it just makes her an overall flawed character. And you would think that in 40 years of horror movies in general, after the first Halloween came out, that you wouldn't be surprised with kills. But with the way that this movie did it, there were genuine moments where I was actually surprised and shocked with how certain stuff went down. And if you thought that just being a certain age would save you from getting killed, nope. A great thing that they did with the kills, though, is that you didn't actually see all of them. For some of the kills, you just saw the aftermath of it, and the thought of how they got from point A to point B can sometimes play out in your head better than it actually would on screen. The movie also did a good job on bringing back Michael Myers to what originally made him scary and creepy to begin with. The stalking from a distance, the breathing under the mask, just the patience to wait and attack right at the right moments. When you were watching them, you just felt like you were watching a predator stalk his prey. The only real downside to this movie is that a lot of times it felt like one big homage to the original, which in itself isn't bad, but sometimes you see things in the movie that's clearly just fan service put there to point out certain things, and it just jumps out at you, and sometimes it just takes you out of the scene because you have no choice but to think about when it happened in the original. Hey, y'all, remember that thing we did back in 78? You like that? Remember that shot where she was looking out the window in class? We framed that up for you too. Remember that line she was saying when she was babysitting that one kid? It was really irrelevant, but there's a callback to that. She says that exact same line again. You probably don't remember it, but you'll know it when you hear it. The movie was good, but it had its flaws. I did, however, surprisingly like the comedy in this movie. You probably wouldn't think that there would be a lot of comedy in the movie, and it's not. But when it happens, it's funny, and it doesn't really take you out of it when it happens. There's this kid that's in this scene. He's hands down the funniest part in the scene. And when Michael comes through wrecking shop like he does, this kid does what any rational person in his situation should do. So in conclusion, the story was good, the acting was good, the ending could have been a little better. The movie itself wasn't as good as the original, but it was definitely better than any other sequel that we've had since the first one. The replay value of the movie is good, but it definitely holds up better when it's paired with the original, so next Halloween you already know what time it is. With all that being said, I'd give it a solid C. So comment below and let me know what you guys thought about the movie, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to see what we got coming up next.